And that's how that looks at the end of those first two instructions. So when you put your lower control arm in, you want to make sure it's looking like that, so it's that shape, and you've got that piece we've just connected on the right. And then what you want to do is make sure the shock absorber rod, and what we need to do with this is push the circular end into there. So let me bring this up here for you. So I would try and make sure that that pin is flush though, because you don't want your suspension coming off. So now what we're going to do, guys, is take the wheel hub which we assembled in the past issue, and we've got to put that little part there, that pin on it, in the lower control arm. So just place that in there like so, and then put the upper control arm on the top of it, and then we're going to be attaching those together with the DS24 screws which are supplied in this pack. Hey all, welcome back to the channel, Rich43. Hope you're doing good, guys. Hope you're well. It's Friday and it's DB5 time, guys. We've got issue 23 of the DB5, James Bond DB5 from Agora Models. What I'll do, guys, I'll put a link in the description down below, so if you want to get this for yourself, check that link out, guys. It'll send you straight to Agora Models and you'll be able to get this brilliant build for yourself. And there's loads more builds on there also, so take a look through the Agora website, guys. Thanks for joining me again today. If you're not already, guys, remember to subscribe, like, also comment and share, and press that bell notification not to miss out on any future builds to do with the DB5 or anything else on the channel. But without further ado, guys, let's crack on with this week's issue of the DB5. Okay then, guys, so welcome back along to this week's build of the DB5 from Agora Models. Here we have all our parts, so I'll get those out and we'll quickly just go through what we've got in this week's issue. We've got the lower right arm, the control arm, which is metal. That's classed as 23A. And then we've got 23B, which is the shock absorber cylinder. That's plastic. We've got a spring here, which is 23C. There you go, that's metal, shock absorber spring. And then we've got 23D, which is the shock absorber rod, that's plastic. And then we've got a number of little things here, guys. We've got some DS24 screws, P831 screws, I think that they are, PS31 screws, sorry guys. And then we've got this little thing here, which is 23E, this is plastic. This is an anti-roll bar connection. So that's going to connect the anti-roll bar. And then in this package here, this is classed as 23F, these little parts are, and these are pins. So these are going to obviously be pinning something together. So there's all the parts, guys. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's crack on. So what we want to do is get the lower right control arm, which we've got here, and you can see here, it's got like a D-shaped hole. And this anti-roll bar connector, which is plastic, that's also got a D shape at the end. So basically you just push that into that D shape there while my dog's going mental. And then we've got to connect that with a PS31 screw, and that's how that looks at the end of those first two instructions. Now what we're going to do is bring the chassis over, guys. So if I just move these out of the way a sec. Bring the chassis over. So it's facing that way, which is what we worked on last. That's more of the control arm. And then what we're going to do is connect this lower control arm, because this is the upper. So if we just push this out of the way, basically we just got to put that in there like so. And then we're going to be connecting that with 2 pins, which I showed you at the beginning of the video. So I'll get these pins out and we'll connect that. So guys, when you put your lower control arm in, you want to make sure it's looking like that. So it's that shape, and you've got that piece we've just connected on the right. And then what you want to do is make sure you've got the holes there just lined up with the lower control arm. And then what you're going to do is put the first pin in, and let me just show you the pin. On the pin there, guys, I don't know if you can see that on camera, there's a bit of a jagged rough end. What you want to do is put the smooth side of the pin in first. So if I just put that there like that, you can use tweezers for this if it's easy for you. And then, as you heard, that will push right in then. The smooth side first. So if I just point that out, there's the pin. So push the smooth side in, and the rough should be last. You can also get a screwdriver just to make sure it's gone right in, but as you can see, it's going to go right through if you do that. So that's sufficed, that's enough. So that's the first pin in, and you've got to get your other pin to do the left side there. So we're doing the same as we did just. Push the pin in with the smooth side first, through the hole of the lower control arm. And to be honest, they're going pretty easy for me. So there guys, you have the 2 pins. You've got one just there, as you can see that, and you've got that pin just in there. You'll know when you've pushed them in enough, because you'll feel it get like a bit stiffer to push in, and you'll know. But just remember, you've got the jagged edges on the outside, and the smooth side of the pin goes in first. So that is how that's looking at the minute, and that takes us right through to instruction 6, both pins and the lower control arm. So let's crack on and move on to the next instruction, guys. So now guys, we need to take the shock absorber rod, and what we need to do with this is push the circular end into there. So let me bring this up here for you. It's going to be going into there, guys, and then what we're going to have to do is get one of these pins, and it goes through that hole, and it'll obviously go through the centre of this shock absorber, and it will pin that into the lower control arm. So you do this the same way again, guys. You get this pin and have the rough side to the right. So you just get this pin, make sure your holes are lined up, and it should be as simple as pushing that pin through like that. Now I'm using my hand, my thumb and nail here, because you can see it could be a bit difficult to do it that way. So if you just get your end of your screwdriver, give it a little push, and then you should be able to get that through. Just make sure you've got your holes lined up, unless you're going to have difficulty pushing it through the other end. But it's going to be stiff because that's going to be controlling your suspension on, so it's going to be a bit difficult to push through, I would have thought. Use your tweezers as well also, and that should be suffice. As you can see, that pin is now in and secure. I would try and make sure that that pin is flush though, because you don't want your suspension coming off. But if you can see there, it's gone as far as it's going to go. It's coming out the other end, and now because the jagged bit's in there, it should be very secure. So now what we're going to do is get the spring and push that over the shock absorber, and then what we're going to do is get the shock absorber cylinder, which is this part here, guys. Push that like that, and that takes us all the way to instruction 10. That's how that's looking at the minute. Now what we're going to do is get another pin, guys, put the shock absorber into there like so, as you can see, and make sure it's all lined up. So you've got to make sure that hole is lined up in there, because if not, you're going to have problems trying to get the pin through. So just persuade it with your screwdriver if you need to. As you can see, I think that's going to be enough. Might struggle a bit, but we'll see. And then do the same as what we've been doing, guys. Get the pin, which you've got here, and put the smooth side in first. See if it's going to be in the right place. That can be a bit fiddly, so just bear with it. There you go, that's gone in. beautifully. Just gently just use a screwdriver. Be careful though, because it does go right through the other side, so you don't need that much pressure. As long as it's in like that. And that's what we're looking at, guys. Look at that. Front right suspension is now on the db5 from Agora Models. I love that. And that takes us all the way up to instruction 14. So let's keep on cracking on. So now what we're going to do, guys, is take the wheel hub, which we assembled in the past issue, and we've got to put that little part there, that pin on it, in the lower control arm. So just place that in there like so, and then put the upper control arm on the top of it, and then we're going to be attaching those together with the DS24 screws, which are supplied in this pack. So what we're going to do is screw into the top of there. Now it's going into plastic, so it should be pretty easy to put in, to be fair. So yeah, screw that nice and tight. Just making sure those two pins on your wheel hub aligned into the lower and upper control arm before you do this, which the top one will have to be to put the screw on, but just make sure your bottom one's in also. Look at that, guys. That is now, the hub is connected. Obviously we've got to put a screw in the bottom one, but that's how it's looking at the minute. So I'm just going to tighten this top screw just there, and then we're going to apply another DS24 screw in the bottom. Now when you turn the model over, guys, it's a bit more, not difficult, but it's a bit harder to do this side, because you've got to, unless you want to put something underneath to lean on, put your fingers under there or something, because obviously it's a bit raised up off the table, as it's the bottom I'm doing now. I'm trying to get my words out. You're doing the bottom control arm with the screw, whereas when you're doing the top, you're obviously resting this on your desk. So you can either hold it with your hand, or just put something under there so you can push pressure to put these screws in. But as you can see, you can do it with your hand if you want to. I'm doing okay. So yeah, this is another DS24 screw. So you use two DS24 screws, guys, one in the bottom of the control arm and one in the upper, and then this is the result you've got. Look at that. Look at that. The wheel hub is now connected with the right suspension, and you've got the upper and lower control arm. Look how that's looking, guys. And there's the rest of the chassis. So pleased. I'm loving this build. That takes us all the way up to instruction 18. And guys, that takes us to the end of this week's build of the db5 from Agora Models. I do hope you enjoyed this, guys. I hope you enjoyed this issue. I hope you're enjoying this progression of this build. I know I'm a bit behind to other YouTubers on the YouTube family, but bear with me, guys. As soon as I get on, I'm going to try and put at least one out a week. But as I've said before, check out my other videos. I'll let you know why I'm a bit behind with these videos to this build. But I am loving it, guys. Hope you're loving it as well. Thanks for all your support. Keep watching. I'll see you in the next one. And that is it, guys, for this week's build of the db5 from Agora Models. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you've got to the end of the video, or even if you've watched the beginning of it, guys, remember to give us a big thumbs up. And if you're not already, remember to subscribe. It's all free, guys. Subscribe and press that bell notification. You will never miss out on any db5 build or anything else what's up on the channel. And as I said in the intro, guys, check out in the description below. I've left you a link to go to the Agora website where you can get this for yourself. This db5 build, the James Bond db5, which is going to be a beautiful build, guys, when it's done. It's 1.8 scale, and it's got shooting guns, moving number plates, etc. But check out the website, guys. You'll be able to see all that and see what you're getting for your money. It'll be a lovely part on your mantelpiece or wherever you're going to put it, guys. Getting pretty cool now, this build, guys. Today what we've been doing is starting off the right suspension, the front right suspension. I love this build. I cannot wait till it's built, like all my builds, but I don't want to wish my life away. But I love it. I love this build. This is another treasured build in my collection, and I hope you're enjoying it too. But I do want to thank you at this time for all your support, all the subs you're giving me, all the likes you're giving me, comments and shares. I do really appreciate you, guys. But for this week, guys, for the db5, that is it. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next one. See ya. Peace.